Hi everybody. Happy 2025, Doreen from Door Designs. Hope you guys all had a great holiday season and a new year. Ours was a little different. We had the famous flu bug hit our household the day before Christmas, and it has taken us until now to get everybody healthy, the stuff out of here. I've disinfected my house, I think 1,000 times, but we're all back to being good, so ready to get on with 2025. On today's tutorial, I'm going to be doing kind of a winter Valentine design. For me, I'm in Missouri, so we have cold weather for a couple more months. We just had like, I don't know, 8 or 10 inches of snow the last 48 hours. It's beautiful outside, but I like to still incorporate some evergreens or winter greenery, as I'm going to call it, in with my Valentine designs. I still like to keep that winter look to it. So we're going to kind of do a little bit that's going to have a little bit of flocking. We're also going to put in some kind of more of a spring greenery. And then I've got some with some little white berries on it. But we're actually going to be using a little bit that's still, it's the green, but see how it's got a little bit of flocking on it? We're going to incorporate that in along with some red little tea roses. We've got some really soft greenery I think we're going to play with, and then we've got our famous Valentine hearts. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I needed to put the moss on the top, which I didn't get that done. So let me do that real quick. I've packed this little container full of dry foam or Floral's foam, and I'm just going to take a little bit of this moss that makes such a mess and put it across the top. I'm going to use some of my floral pins. I just keep them in a large jar. You can get these anywhere. And I'm dipping the end of it in my electric skillet over here. And I use Gorilla glue sticks. I keep them melted, about 325 or so. Some of the questions I get asked is, do I clean my pot out after every time I use? No. Once you unplug it, the glue will just get hard. And then when you plug it back in, it'll just all melt right back. There's all kinds of now glue pots you can buy online. I've just had this old electric skillet for a long time. Okay, let's do one more right over here. You don't have to cover the top of your base. I like to, just because it makes it easier to cover your mechanics. Okay, let's get this cleaned up a little bit. There we go. Okay. So first off, I'm going to add some of the winter greenery all around the base of it. So I've got a few pieces of some cedar here. So we're just going to cut these down. You could use scraps of greenery if you have some left over from your winter designing. Okay, we're just going to start putting a few pieces around. And this dry foam is pretty soft to use, so I don't think I'll have to use my pick machine. It should all pretty much just go right down in there. I really miss designing when everybody was sick and trying to take care of everybody. So I'm glad to be back down in my studio. I've got my Christmas almost pretty much put away. I've got a few things left to pack. I haven't gone out in the snow yet, but I am going to try to get out a little bit today. Maybe go for a little walk. Fill up my bird feeders. Okay, now by the time we get this all filled in, you won't see as much of this white snow flocking, because I'm sure some of you are thinking I'm doing a winter or a Christmassy design, but it's more what I'm going to call a wintry design. Okay, so we've got just some cedar that's been flocked all the way around. Okay, now I'm going to incorporate just some variegated greenery that I think this came from Hobby Lobby. So you're going to be able to see some of the flocking, but not all of it. And I'm putting some up high and some down lower. Circle these pieces up. And these are nice long pieces, so what I'm actually doing is cutting them in half. So I'm getting 2 pieces off every single stem here. And I'm just going all the way around, just like we did on the first one. And this greenery is nice and bright, so it's really going to make this design pop when we get all the red and the white in. Okay, I'm going to put a couple of pieces over here. Okay, so we've got our greenery going around. I'm not going to pack it in super tight, but I am going to put a couple of pieces of this eucalyptus, kind of a smaller with a little bit of flocking on it. I like to use 3 different types of greenery a lot of times when I design. Okay, see how that's kind of bringing some of that in? So you've got the cedar right there, you've got this greenery, and then you've got our third one. And once again, I'm putting some up high and some down lower because I want to fill it in all the way around. And I want all 3 pieces of the greenery, the different types, to show. Because I don't want just one row of each greenery. I want them all blended in and mixed in together. The other thing, I'm taking some down. I want to soften the container. although this piece is just a little bit too long. I need just a couple of pieces over on this side. I've only got 2 pieces left on this bush, so I'm going to, or 3, I'm going to go ahead and use them. I don't want to waste them, but yet I don't want to have to save them for just 3 little pieces. Okay, 1 piece left. I'm going to take it right down the middle. Okay, I think we've got all of our greenery in. Okay, now I'm going to come back and I think I'm going to add a little bit of this greenery with some little white flowers on the end. Now we're going to start bringing in the, what I'm going to call more of the spring part of it, or the Valentine's part of it. I am taking off some of the bottom just because I don't like that green. The other part I'm pushing up a little bit. So you can see the white flowers coming in through it. And then once we add this red, it is really gonna pop. I love stems where you can take it off and push them up. I think it makes designing a lot easier. Okay, we're going to add a couple more. I will be adding new wreath kits and things too this week. All the plans I had to get things done over Christmas kind of didn't pan out with the old flu. That's okay. Everybody's good, so that's all that matters. Okay, 1 piece left. Let's see where I need it. Okay, look how pretty that looks now with the white flowers mixed in with the different greenery. I might have to make this just a little bit shorter here. Okay. So let's go ahead and add some of our little red flowers here. See how pretty that looks against the white? White florals are good to have when you're designing, because if you have dark spots in your design, it's the quickest way to brighten it up. Do our other red flowers here. And these little flowers came from Hobby Lobby, but it was last year. One more. Okay, you have red flowers in all the way around. Now we're going to add some little hearts. So I've got these. I've got these. I've got some little red yarny ones, but I think I'm going to go with these first. So I'm just going to place them in here to kind of get an idea of the height I want. And I'll turn this around here in just a second. See how cute that is with the hearts in it? So we're going to put 2 or 3 different types of hearts in here. When I cut my stem down, I cut it at an angle so it makes it easier to go through your dry foam or your styrofoam or whatever base you're using. Take that one a little shorter, and then I'm going to put a white one in the middle. Okay, let's see about adding the one with the polka dots on it, and then I have one that's plaid. And both of these came from Hobby Lobby. Yeah, both of these came from Hobby Lobby also last year. I'm going to cut them down. With my stem cutter. That is a metal stem. Okay, what I'm doing, I put the polka dot one down a little bit lower to kind of break up some of the red and the white, and I'm going to do the exact same thing with the plaid one, but I'm going to keep it up a little bit higher. Okay, see how cute it looks with that plaid and that polka dot in there? I might pull that polka dot out just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna see if I have one more of these. I'd like to put one right here in the back, but I don't know if I have a third one. One moment. I was lucky, I do. So I'm gonna add one. See where that's kind of got a hole right here in the middle? We're gonna fill that in. I'm not gonna use any ribbon. You could if you wanted to. See how that fills in that hole? Okay, I'm not gonna add the little yarn ones. I'm gonna save those for another design that I'm gonna be doing. Okay, I think we are done with this kind of wintry Valentine centerpiece. So we started out with a container, metal container, and you can use any container you want. This one is about 6 inches. I filled it full of floral foam or dry foam, glued that in there, covered it with our moss, used our floral pins to stick those down in there, the moss, and then I just used 2 different wintry greenery, and then I used our springier one, and then we used the greenery that had the little white flowers on it. So we probably used about 4 different greeneries, and then we added our little red, what I'm gonna call tea roses, little bitty ones, to kind of start bringing in the Valentine red color. I'm moving those around a little bit. And then we added our 3 hearts. These came from Dollar Tree last year. And then we added our decorative hearts, and these hearts came from Hobby Lobby last year. So there you have it, a nice wintry Valentine kickoff to 2025. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you on my next one. Take care. Thanks again. Bye-bye.